ton. Not really, no.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Starting with Isaac Newton, we began to get some answers here, and we found that gravity is an attraction between two bodies, and the attraction was due to the mass of the two bodies and also to the distance between the two bodies, but it was an inverse relationship. The further apart you are, the less the force will be, and it just done what we call the square of the distance. So if you're twice as far away, your attraction is 1/4 as much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in our culture, I think that gravity does have a very, very big metaphorical meaning. I mean, you hear all kinds of songs, gravity's keeping me down, or, there's tons of examples like that. In art, gravity's used a lot to represent, the stress on people and stuff like that. So I think that, yeah, it does have a really big metaphorical meaning.
I mean, there's certain things like when you think of gravity, you think about things coming together, and that can be about like people, or if you think of like the gravity of the situation, like as a phrase, it means kind of like if something like bears weight, and that's kind of what I think about in a metaphorical sense.
I know in design terms, we think of marks that are joyful and happy as being more cloud-like and light, curvilinear, and we think of things that are dark and heavy and weighty, like depression. Usually those are dark strokes. Usually they're down, settling at the bottom of a canvas or an image. So yeah, there's lots of metaphors relative to gravity.
Definitely not the scientific form, but I think that when it comes to people's own perceptions of gravity in their life, then definitely. I mean, I think that whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, does definitely change your perception of gravity, of the weight of things.
Sometimes when I'm really stressed, you just physically feel heavier. Like, there's a lot of school stuff and work stuff, and I feel like people that have a lot going on in their life are more grounded in that sense of gravity keeping you down.
And when life is out of control, I feel like the gravity in our life feels out of control too, that we feel heavy, we feel like we can't, like we're not in our proper place, or on the other aspect, we feel so elated and light that it's like we're walking on air.
If you believe in God, you believe in Christ, you have a hope that it's not the end, that whatever you're going through, that you can get through it, that there's something better on the other side. And I can't imagine if you thought this world was all that there was, or there was nothing or no one to help you through it. I would think your outlook would be completely different.
Right now, I feel pretty weighed down. I mean, with school and work and a lot of stuff that I have to take care of some of my family members and stuff like that. It does weigh you down over time. I think that a big part of life is kind of going against the grain, going against gravity, and trying to learn to stand up even though you have this big force that's trying to push you back down. So yeah, I mean, gravity for me, it's pretty heavy. I feel like I'm on Jupiter, for Christ's sakes, but you just got to keep going.
I would say I generally do try to be a happy person, and for the most part, I don't really feel that stressed or weighed down until I really stop moving so much, maybe, and start to think about things and all the different things that are going to be expected of me soon, and then I start to really feel weighed down about it. Well, lately I've been feeling a little more heavy. I feel like there's big decisions that I have to make about my job, and I'm looking at switching career fields or retiring or being semi-retired, and that is exciting on one hand of the prospects of doing something different that I just want to do, but it's also a little bit stressful because change is always stressful, and you think, will I really miss that, even though I don't really want to do that job anymore. There's a part of you that's afraid of, will I miss it, and will I be happy
doing something else. So I feel kind of a heaviness of that being upon me, that decision and change in my life.
I feel pretty light right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Explain why.
I just had a baby,
Mhm.
so I'm pretty excited. The world seems pretty sunshiny and I know, kind of, I guess like a floaty feeling almost.
I think for me right now, I feel pretty heavy, to be honest. There's a lot of stress on my shoulders with thesis and with graduating and getting all my ducks in a row, you know, and plans for after graduation and, you know, wanting to follow your heart and also please others at the same time is kind of rough to deal with, and you want to make everyone happy, but ultimately you gotta make yourself happy, you know. And I think the pressures from everyone around you telling you like what you should do and who you should be, what you should become, can be very stressful, and that's kind of where I'm at this time, you know, graduating in May. I feel pretty heavy, to be honest.